you strain all this stuff and you put it through filters. I guess it's just to keep bird poop out. That would be gross. And once that is on, like so. Hey guys, welcome back. I am pumped. The spring is coming. We're in the month of March already. As you can see, the lake has already started to melt. All the snow on top of the lake started to melt. We had about, I don't know, 2 or 3 days of some really, really warm weather, like it was plus 10 C. We had some rain. So this is the end result. There's my path over there. You can still see the remnants of the path going around the lake. And so when the springtime comes, that means it's maple syrup season. That's right. So what I'm going to do today is, I think it's still a little too cool. We had a really cool evening last night. I know that down in the valley from where I live, we live up on top of the mountain. So down in the valley, the trees just started running probably 2 or 3 days ago. I'm generally about a week behind everybody else, a week and a half behind. But we're still going to go grab the buckets. We're going to go up to some of the trees. We'll drill some holes, hang some buckets, and see what happens. All right, let's grab my stuff. Okay, let's show you guys what I got. Now this is Home Hobby level 100. I don't have a whole lot of stuff, and I am not a big operation. So normally what we do is we tap probably 10 or so trees, and I'll show you what I have in here. So these are the spiles, and when you drill the hole through the tree, this is what you tap in, and as you can see, this goes in like so. Well, you kind of get it, like so, and then your bucket hooks onto this guy right here. So we're going to go out, we're going to find a couple of trees to tap, the ones that I know will run first, just due to experience. These are the buckets. I don't believe these were very expensive. I can't remember now, we bought them probably 4 or 5 years ago. I think the buckets were about $12 each, and these guys were $5 or $6 each, I can't really remember. And then I've also got the lids, and I have my hose. And what I'm going to do this year is I'm going to 3D print some spiles to stick into the trees. So we're going to hang the buckets from these guys, but we're going to use the hose this year, and I'm going to put a couple of buckets down on the ground or some containers, and I'm just going to plug this into the spile that I'm going to 3D print into the, and drill a hole, put it in the tree. So, all right, let's go find some trees. It's cold out there, so I'm just going to get dressed a little bit better. Okay, so actually one thing I did forget to mention is we're going to need a drill bit. So we're going to have to find a drill bit large enough to sink this in probably 3/4 of an inch. So let's find something that'll match that. Usually I have it in those buckets, but it's not there for some reason. So I'm looking for the right size diameter. And this one looks to be about right, and that could be the one I used last year. I'm not quite sure. Oh, no. So, here is the evidence. There is still some wood stuck to it from last year. So this is definitely the guy I was using. Update. I don't have my cordless drill. I think it's at my daughter's house. How do I do this? Well, I guess I go see my neighbor, the father-in-law. Update number 2. No need to go next door to see my father-in-law because I just found a really cool kit. So what I do have is I have my cordless screwdriver here, and I have this awesome kit that my mother gave me last year after my father passed. This was his, and that man was very, very, very organized, because had I owned this stuff would have been everywhere. So if we notice, we look down here, we have the right attachments for my cordless screwdriver. So I think we're going to grab the 1/2 inch and the 7/16, and we're going to grab these guys and we'll give that a shot. So I think I'm going to start with some trees that generally do pretty well for me. They're mostly up there. So I think we're going to climb that hill right there. And we're going to go tap a few of those guys that are over there. All right, here we are. So this was a spot we just started tapping last year, because it's kind of off the beaten path on the side of the bush. But let me show you these old trees. These are old maples. Now, from what I've been told, these are not actual sugar maples. Let me tell you, the stuff that comes out of them is still very delicious. And you can see, here's one hole from last year. It did extremely well. And it's going to be dry because it's healed over. So this year we have no snow. So I'm going to get my hole down low, somewhere down here. And I know they say to try the south side of the tree. There's another hole in the other one. So south is kind of that way. Maybe I'll give it a shot on this side here. Why don't we see what happens? All right, so I think I'm actually going to use the 1/2 inch. Just a little bit larger. That should do. So throw that guy away. All right, so here we go. Oh, don't forget the hook. I have a bad habit of forgetting those. So we're going to try down here, and let's try it. Just checking to see if they're running at all. Probably not, because it was really cold last night. All right, that seems to be all right. So we're about 1/2 inch in, 3/4 inch. I can see I'm through the bark into some of the softer stuff. Just give it a little bit more. And whether this is necessary or not, I always put my my holes tipping down at an angle. And all we do now is we put the little hook facing this way to the tree like so. And that's it. So that one's in. You know what? I should have used the 7/16. That one's a little too large. Anyway, regardless. That'll still work. And then we hang a bucket like so. And we put the lid through the spile on the top. I'm not super concerned about the lids keeping debris out. Mere fact is that you strain all this stuff and you put it through filters. I guess it's just to keep bird poop out. That would be gross. And once that is on, like so. Okay, well, that was a fail. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch back to the 7/16 because apparently that hole was too large. So we'll take this off. And let's try that again. Try it on the south side. Again, no water at all. Nothing yet. And we're always a few days behind, or sorry, we're always a week or so behind. So that's, oh, that's much better. All right. Oh, where's the hammer? Oh, that is super fire right there. Right on there like so. All right. And do I have room for my lid? Yeah, I do. Put the bird poop catcher over top here, or the squirrel poop catcher. There we go. All right, so that's one. I think today I'm just going to do a couple on some of the trees that I know run first, simply because I think it's still too early. I just don't want to miss the season. So, yeah, there you go. Ooh. I see one back there I've never noticed before. You're pretty. So the trees on my property are not large. I don't have a lot of maple, mostly birch and pine and stuff, but I do see this guy right here, and then there's this guy right here. That looks promising. You know what? I'm definitely going to give that one a try. I've never tapped this one before. Never been back. So let's give her a shot. Again, south side, kind of that way-ish. Don't forget the hook, because it's a real slap in the face when you do. This one's a little plugged up. There you go. Okay. Wow, that bit is perfect. Try like that. And we'll put our bird poop catcher on here. All right, that's number 2. Okay, let's do one a little closer to the house. Let's grab this. It's not a very flattering angle. Okay, I see some that we do every single year. These generally run a little later in the season, but I think we'll give these a little go. That one over, there's one over there too that does really well. Let's go do that one over there. Come on. Right now the snow is hard, so it's easy to walk on. As soon as it warms up, I'll be sinking up to my knees, I bet you. Luckily this year we haven't had a lot of snow. That's good. Alright. So if you remember this tree here, let me show you. You saw my Santa Claus video where I repair my Santa Claus and I have my snowman. And here I got the Christmas lights in this tree. So we're going to put a bucket on this side over here because this tree always does super well. Stick one over here somewhere. I think I put them up higher. Yeah, I see I got a hole up here from last year. And let's try this. So, south side. I don't know. What do you guys think right here? So. Grab our bucket. Pretty proud of myself. So far I haven't forgot to put a little hooky thingy on. Oh man, that 7/16 bit is perfect. I'm glad I forgot my drill. Oh. Bucket. Bird, pooper, catcher, squirrel, keeper, outer. All right. We are good to go. Perfect. So those trees were not picked totally random. I tried to pick the trees that I know run first. There's some kind of science behind it, some kind of natural way of telling if they're going to run. I just drill a hole. If it leaks, it leaks. So if you're looking for answers to some of your maple syrup questions, I'm probably not the guy. Being honest right now, being honest. The ones I know that run first were the ones that I just tapped, like I mentioned, but I think the reason why some of them are slower, from what I've read or from what I've seen on YouTube, is that the quicker the frost around those particular trees lifts, the faster the tree will run. So the trees that I just tapped have no snow around them. The one I just tapped over in the driveway, you would think that possibly that one would run sooner than the others, but because there's no snow over top of that part of the driveway in the winter, the frost does penetrate a little bit deeper. Luckily, we didn't have a lot of frost this winter. I don't think it's very deep, maybe a couple feet. Guessing again. Not a frost expert, but I enjoy this. It's a lot of fun. Follow along. I'm going to have quite a few more videos about the maple syrup, and I'll show you guys how I boil it down. Boil it outside in a homemade fire pit, and or the propane burner you saw back there. We're going to do that, and then I finish it off in the house. And contrary to popular belief or what you may have heard, don't boil it in the house, everything gets sticky. I don't know about that. Science says that when you're boiling the maple sap, what you're actually doing is boiling off the water that's in the sap and not the sugar. So why would water make things sticky? I'm not sure. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys, for following along, and hope you enjoyed this video and shows you how I tap a couple of my trees and how I pick them. I got to tap the rest of them once the weather gets a little bit warmer. We need some warm days and some cool evenings. -5, -10 at night, +4, +5 during the day is absolutely perfect. Waiting for those days to come. We're not far off. Like I said, a friend of mine down in the valley, they started running just a couple days ago. I'm always a week or so behind him. So thank you for watching. Stick around, watch the next videos. If you like this video, hit subscribe. Browse my other videos. I'm into all kinds of stuff. We'll talk soon. Peace.